One and live. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for yet another day, another episode of the Insurance Bro Show. We got a good one ready to go for you all today, so definitely tune in if you want to hear about some good tips for retention.
The Carrier Experience Podcast is a show for anyone who wants to grow their agency and be a titan of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the Insurance Bro, James Cias.
Oh, that's going to be fun. We got some changes coming on that intro.
It already sounds good. I heard it today. It's got the bro. I think we're going to go with the one that says bro twice. I like the bro twice.
You like the bro twice? Bro.
Yeah, the Insurance Bro Show. Dude, it's just fun. Like it's our brand. It's the cool thing that we do.
It is. I mean, cool.
I don't know about cool
whatever.
Perspective, right?
Yeah. We're biased, but hey, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time once again. Before we jump into the show, just a quick reminder to please give us a like, subscribe, leave us a rate or review on whatever platform it is that you're catching us on. If you're catching us on YouTube, there's a little subscribe button right down in that corner somewhere. If you could hit that, that'd be awesome. Hit the little bell so you can be notified when we're going live, and iTunes, Spotify, wherever it is that you're catching us, leave us a rate, leave us a review. The whole point of this whole show is to provide as much awesome information, valuable information to insurance agents, and the more we get likes and reviews and ratings and all that good stuff, the higher those reviews, the search results will be, so that people can find us easily enough. And also, don't forget to follow me at Insurance Bro Show on all social media. I'll tell you this, I'm most active on Instagram and the Facebook. So if you want to catch me, find me right there at Insurance Bro Show.
Boom.
All right.
Let's get into
all the
it.
good stuff. We're getting right into it because this is some good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, before we do dive in, let's talk a little bit about retention and why it's so important to me. When I was a young warthog.
When I was a young warthog. A little bit of lighting right there, dude.
You need to catch that. When I was a young insurance agent, when I first got into the business, I focused all of my energy, all of my attention, everything into selling. Right? That's that number one goal, is to get people in the door, get people sold on, they like me, they want to buy from me, cool. But I did not do a great job on the back end of taking care of the customers afterwards. I was so focused on growing my business, on lead generating, on bringing in new customers, that a lot of my customers fell off of the back end. And as I was growing my team, the pattern continued. So I had this team, and I continue to grow my team of agents, and as they grow, as they're coming on board with us, we're all doing the same thing. We're focusing a lot of our efforts, a lot of our attentions on getting new clients, and not nearly enough on retention. And so what we experience is a pattern of new business coming in, old business falling off, and our total revenue just stays flat. Maybe it goes up a little bit, but mostly it just stays flat. So retention is huge when it comes to the insurance industry. One of the great things about specifically P&C insurance is the residual income that comes from building business. But that residual income is only going to happen if you know how to retain your customers. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's jump right into tip number 1. We've got 10 retention tips for you. So tip number 1 is to visit the client before each renewal and perform a risk management survey. Lots of good stuff here. First of all, visit the client. Now we're Go ahead.
We're in COVID, so yeah. Let's keep this relative, right? If this is a home and auto policy, visiting them is probably not a normal thing, right? It's probably not the thing you're going to go to. But if we're talking about a workers' comp policy, we're talking about general liability policy, we're talking about a business here, commercial policy, then by all means, go visit them. I mean, it's kind of cool if you go to their shop and buy lunch, or you go to their coffee
100%.
place and buy coffee, or, you need tires and you go to their place, right? Visit the client and perform that risk management survey. You were going to talk about that. Sorry.
Yeah. Do business with people that are going to be doing business with you. Absolutely. Buy lunch from their restaurant and buy tires from their tire shop. 100%. And that, I mean, I was going to say a lot of the same thing. It's COVID season right now. So there's a lot of things that you may or may not be able to do. But we still have Zoom. We still have the ability to get the face-to-face, and that's really what this whole thing is about. It's visiting the client, it's getting the face-to-face, but especially when we're talking about commercial policies, this risk management survey is huge. When you can go in there and make risk management recommendations, take a little bit of training, do a little bit of continuing education on loss control measures, so that you can walk in and say, you know what, you should have a fire extinguisher right here on this wall. Do you see that outlet over there? It's kind of hanging off. That's a fire hazard right over there. You have, whatever, maybe you have some administrative personnel, clerical personnel who don't have, what's the word that I'm looking for? Ergonomic keyboards, ergonomic chairs, these different things that people do file claims for. If you get a claim for carpal tunnel, ladies and gentlemen, that's a hefty claim. You're going to be paying out that one for a good chunk of time. So visiting the client and making these risk management surveys is about, first of all, going and doing business with the people that are doing business with you. And secondly, just taking a look around and seeing where you might help them avoid filing a claim later on. First of all, nobody wants to file a claim. Nobody wants to be in a situation where they have to file a claim. So the more information that you can give, the more advice that you can provide to keep them from filing a claim, it's that much less of a headache for them and that much better for your loss ratio.
Yeah, that's huge, especially if you're an independent agent and you have your own appointments. Oftentimes those loss ratios, keeping them at a certain amount, bringing in a certain amount of premium, retaining a certain amount of premium, all those things are factors into your bonuses. So if you're an independent agency with specific appointments and carrier appointments that provide bonuses, keeping those numbers low when it comes to the loss ratios and increasing the premium that you're bringing in and increasing the retention level that you have, that's bonus. That's extra money on top of your normal commissions.
Yep. So, and another thing, since we're talking retention, there are two major things that your carriers are looking at. One is the loss ratio, which we usually want to keep under 65%. And the second is your retention. How well are you keeping your customers with that carrier? So if you're making sure to go and visit and do all these things that we're going to talk about today, your retention levels are going to be that much higher. They usually want to see over 80% for that. All right. Tip number 2, conduct an annual sit-down review of all coverage and recommendations with the client. A lot of the same thing that we're always talking about, right? It's making sure that we're selling on coverage. So when you have that opportunity, when you go to visit your client at the time of renewal and you sit down and you say, all right, so when reviewing your policy, these are the coverages that are included. And these are the coverages that are available. Now I see that you have, contractors. You're hiring contractors now. So let's make sure to add this additional endorsement that will extend the liability and out to your contractors that you're hiring in. That was just something off the top of my head. But since we're talking commercial and, on the personal lines, same type of thing. You definitely want to know if your customer has purchased any fine arts, collectibles, anything like that, and be sure to add those as scheduled personal property. Whatever things are going on. If they lost their job during COVID and now they're out driving Uber and Lyft, right? You want to make sure that they have the transportation network endorsement added onto their auto policy. So all of these different things that your customers may or may not think about. Most customers, let's talk about the Uber and Lyft that's going on. Most customers just assume that, oh, it's okay. As long as I'm driving Uber and Lyft, I'm going to be covered by Uber and Lyft. And whenever I'm not driving for them, then my regular car insurance will cover me. But that's not always case. There are 3 different stages of the Uber and Lyft
livery services.
livery service. Thank you. Yeah, good terminology there. One is when you're waiting for the ride. 2 is when you're on your way to pick up the ride, and 3 is when you actually have the person in your car. Which one of those does Uber and Lyft cover? It's only when they're in your car. So the whole time that you're getting there and driving around waiting for that ride, that's going to be covered under your policy, or that's going to be the responsibility of you or your policy, and your policy may not even cover that.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
All right.
There we go.
Tip number 3.
Keep cross-selling and developing the total account. We call this policy density. And I mean, any agent that you talk to is going to give you this little tip. The more policies you have with a customer, the less likely they are to leave, the more that they're going to stay with you, because it's easy to move just one auto policy and, let me just go to Geico or State Farm or whatever else, right? I'm just going to move this one policy, no big deal. But when you have the whole package of policies and they're combined and all of a sudden they leave this company and they lose their discount on that policy, they don't want to do that. They just want to stick with the one policy or with the one carrier so that they can get the discounts across the board. So you cross-selling and developing the total account is going to provide that those discounts and keep them with you for the long term.
I'm going to take this in a little bit different direction. When we're talking about cross-selling here, James is talking about cross-selling insurance policies, right? Making sure you have home, auto, umbrella policies, or bundling certain things together, putting your commercial liability, your commercial autos all together, right? We want to make sure that we have clients in that way. But here's another tip for cross-selling. Look, some of you out there have other businesses that you have, and you're thinking about maybe adding insurance into your practice. So some of you are tax practices, right? You have a tax practice and maybe you have your life and health because you wanted to add life and health. Well, we specialize in helping you add insurance effectively into your existing business. So our back end, everything that we do to support agents is designed to help you smoothly, efficiently add a P&C practice into your business. So if you're looking for an additional revenue source, you're a tax practice and you're like, you know what? I collect $200 a year on average, or $250 a year on average per client. Wouldn't you feel better if that client not only didn't want to leave you because of the tax practice, but you also are collecting their P&C insurance? So now you're not collecting $250 a month from that, or a year from that client. You can bump that up to $400 or $600 a year from that particular client, doubling and tripling the revenue that you have. Mm-hmm. That's another form of cross-selling, being able to provide an additional value to the existing clientele that you have. So if you're interested in finding out more on how you can effectively add insurance into your business, check out our website, www.pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities. So you're not missing out. You're leaving money on the table if you don't have these additional services, and we got a way to set it up so that you don't have to do all the work. You do need to have a license so we can pay you, but you don't have to do all the work. Our back-end support will help you do that.
Hell yeah. Nice job throwing that in there. I love it. Tip number 4. Send promotional mailings regularly to your client. All right. So first of all, a lot of people get junk mail. I still get some junk mail. I still get the Vons and the Rite Aid advertisements and all that good stuff. It doesn't necessarily make me want to go to Vons or Rite Aid any more than, I already do. It's convenience right down the street. But when you're sending promotional mailings regularly to your client, I think of it more as just sending actual mail, physical mail, because nowadays it's the opposite of what it used to be. When the internet first came out and all of us were on America Online, right, on AOL, we always got that notification, you've got mail, right?
Like, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Nowadays, it's like, oh, what's my phone at right now? My phone is at 2,188 unread emails,
messages,
right? And I think a lot of people are like that. So if you differentiate yourself just a little bit, can you say it for me?
Differentiate
yourself just a little bit and and actually send some mail out, handwritten notes. Promotional mailings is great. Attach a little something. Hey, Nationwide is on your side, right? We've got this going on. This is what Nationwide does for you. They've got this new thing, whatever. but then a nice little handwritten note is going to make all the difference in the world.
Look, here's the difference, right? You got a bunch of mail that came in, and if there's an envelope and you throw in a nice little object like this is just something that little giveaways that we have for Pipeline Insurance, since our surfboard is our little logo, right? This is just a bottle opener. These are super inexpensive, but do a little handwritten note, drop this in there, and I guarantee that this will get opened. Why? Because think about all the mail you get. If I get an envelope, a regular envelope, and I go to grab it and it has some sort of structure to it, it's not flat, I'm like, ooh, what's in there?
What's this?
That is what you want to be able to do. A little handwritten note saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. You know what? This week is, at our school district, my kids are having vacation this week. So, hey, you know what? Kids are on vacation this week. Here, have a beer on me, whatever. And send them a little thing, right? And a little thank you handwritten note. People want to get things in the mail today, not like they used to. If it's a little handwritten note, you handwrite the address on there, they will open it. They will remember you. They will appreciate you, and you can provide them cool little knickknacks just to give some I don't even know what to call it, some 3D type feel to those envelopes that you're sending out. And I promise you,
60% of the time, it works every time.
Every single time. All right, moving on to tip number 5. Stay in regular contact with your client via telephone, mail, and personal visits. Again, it's COVID time, we know, but still, you can make things happen. You can schedule appointments just to chit chat, talk, make sure that your customer has everything that they need, all of their stuff covered. One thing to add to this, and we were kind of talking about it on the last one when we're sending mailings, using your CRM to take really good notes about your customer, knowing that they have a dog that keeps showing up on the podcast every once in a while, right? Finding out maybe what kind of dog it is and sending something specific about that dog, maybe a little I love Rhodesian Ridgebacks sticker. Imagine if I got that from anybody that I do business with, because I just happened to mention that, Katie grows a Rhodesian. All of a sudden it's like, wow, this person's awesome. Damn! Exactly. Staying in regular contact with your customers and getting their information, taking notes on the information that you're providing them, and then acting on it. Act on the notes that you take. So if you find out that they have a Rhodesian Ridgeback, make sure that you send them something to do with that at some point down the line. It's even more amazing when they forget that they even told you that, and then all of a sudden they get this from you and they're just blown away. Wow, I forgot that I even said that to that person.
But I promise you this, they won't forget you, and they'll talk about you over and over again. That little 25-cent gift, that little, $2 sticker that you sent them because you were thinking about them and they know that you were thinking about them, becomes word of mouth marketing. Now you've provided an experience that they want to share with other people. Dude, my insurance guy's awesome. Dude, he sent me this sticker. Check it out. He knew I had this dog. I don't even know how he knew I had the dog, but he sent me this sticker right here. All of a sudden, the person they're talking to are like, oh yeah, well, what are you paying? What kind of insurance coverage you getting? Dude, you got to talk to my guy. He's awesome. Like, that's the conversation. Exactly. That is what 25 cents or $1 sticker can do if you use your CRM correctly and do these types of things, right? You give a client a call. If you have a client that's, for example, that is politically inclined, right? And they've been paying attention to everything. And then we had a massive disaster of a debate the other day. Now you can pick up the phone and talk to them. Just hit them up. Be like, oh my gosh, did you see that? And let them
see that?
Yeah, just let them talk about what it is that they're doing. It doesn't matter. The point is they understand that you understand who they are. You've connected with them on a different level other than insurance. Right. And that's the only thing, is that you're connecting on a human to human level. That's what this tip is really about. Stay in regular contact, be a human, talk to the other human. They are not just a paycheck. They're a human being who has needs. And once you fulfill those needs, I mean, we all have that craving to be acknowledged and respected and appreciated. And you're doing that if you do these things.
And speaking of meeting the customer at their needs, tip number 6, send clients topical information. Laws change every single year. Every January and July, you're going to get a bunch of stuff that comes through that says, hey, these laws changed, blah, blah, blah. AB5, right? This huge one that just keeps changing and different things going into it. The requirement for officers in workers' comp policies to actually sign a piece of paper that says that they don't want their payroll covered. When that all started to happen, we made sure to go out to all of our customers and, you know, get those additional signatures. And these are things that you can do for your customers to save them tons of money, save them tons of headaches, send clients topical information, the things that are important to them. If they're a homeowner in a fire brush area, send them, you know, fire prevention strategies, send them, you know, evacuation routes from their home, send them whatever you can that has to do with their risks, their concerns.
Yeah. And again, it's about being relevant, right? And that topical information, I mean, there's so many different things that you can send any individual person. It's just a matter of using your CRM accordingly. When you get those emails from your carrier saying, hey, these are the changes that are going on, or these are the things that are going on, you can run a quick search in your CRM and just look how many employees, anybody with 3 employees, pull up the list, boom. And you pull up your list of employees on your CRM and that's your list of contacts. And guess what? That's what you're prospecting with today. You're prospecting with people who you have relevant information for. You can reach out to them. They're going to be grateful. And again, this is what it's all about. Retention, giving them something of value on a daily basis. Think of them like almost like your child, right? Or your dog. We were talking about dogs. Every time you give a dog food, guess what? They come back because they want more food, right? And this is kind of the same idea here. The more value you bring to your client, they're going to come back. But the best thing about it is they're going to bring other people. All right, number 7. You ready?
Before we get too far, before we run out of time, I just want to make sure that we mention this because I think we forgot to say it at the beginning. This comes from Insurance Marketing and Management Services, blogs.imms.com, and there's a whole thing about it. But shout out to Insurance Marketing and Management Services. Thank you so much for this awesome article. All right. Number 7, let clients know about new developments that might affect their operations. That's exactly what we were just talking about. This topical information, this information that's going to change the way that they do business. If your customer is a barber shop, for example, or a nail salon, and they were hiring all contractors, a bunch of 1099 contractors coming in and doing work, guess what? When that AB5 kicked in, they had to change, or it was going to affect their operations. These are things that you need to, as their insurance agent, educate yourself about and educate the client about. The more that you use education as a sales tool, the more that they're going to trust you. That's the whole reason why they go to you to begin with, is because you are a trusted advisor. To be a good trusted advisor, you need to know what the heck you're talking about. So make sure that you go and attend these different webinars that are put out by all of the different carriers. When these laws come out, your carriers are giving you the information. They're saying, hey, attend this webinar. There's a DIC endorsement that's available now, right? Difference in conditions endorsement that's available now. Check out this webinar. Come learn what it is. The AB5 just came out. Here's the webinar. Come learn what it is. COVID hit. Here's a webinar. Come learn all about it and how it's going to affect your customers' operations. Attend webinars, ladies and gentlemen. Educate yourself and be that trusted advisor so that your clients know that they can trust you.
And I've been saying it, Miguel. I've been saying it.
All right, number 8, hire and develop people.
Yeah, he's my people. Dang it, I keep doing that.
There you go. I know it's all backwards. I'm like,
it's all
this side. And you're not on this side. It's actually the opposite side.
He's my people.
Hire people. People that like to talk to other people. People that like to associate and hang out with and network with and pick up the phone and talk to and connect with and write letters to other people. And we kind of said this before, reading a book right now, or finished reading a book called Never Lose a Customer Again, which is perfect for retention.
I'm in the middle of round 2.
Round 2, right? It's perfect for learning strategies for retention. And that's where the whole idea of you're not in the B2B business. You're not in the B2C business. You're in the person-to-person business. You're in the human-to-human business. And that's really what it comes down to. So when you're hiring people, when you're hiring staff, yes, you want to hire knowledgeable staff. Absolutely. Yes, you want them to be punctual for sure. Yes, you want them to dress appropriately. Absolutely. But make sure that they actually want to talk to the customer, that they actually want to talk to the client, that they actually want to come to work and have fun. And it comes down to the culture that you put together and the value, the pillars that you have in your office, the core values that you have in your office, because it's
and
part
on that
of
note,
what you do.
On that note, scratch that. You're not my people. Angel is my people. She is amazing. Just straight up. So nobody's allowed to steal her. She's mine. I'm keeping her. Yeah, she's my people. She's amazing at what she does.
I'm your huckleberry.
That's right. All right, number 9. Oh, this is a good one. This might be one of the best ones that we've said all afternoon here, this entire show. Take a special interest in all claims. Ladies and gentlemen, you make the sale at the beginning, but you will lose the sale. You will lose the customer if they do not have a good claims experience. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes they didn't have the coverage that they needed. They refused whatever coverage they had. You offered them an earthquake policy. They didn't take the earthquake policy. You offered them a flood policy. They didn't take the flood policy, and there's no coverage, right? And people think that I have insurance. It covers me for everything. It just doesn't work that way. But regardless of whether or not they're covered, you as the insurance agent taking that special interest and doing everything that you can, being there for them, sometimes it's just for them to vent and yell at for a little bit. But a lot of times there's a lot that we're able to do, especially because we have the phone numbers, we have the contacts, we have the networks with the carrier representatives and everything that we possibly can to make sure that our customers have the best possible claims experiences. Take that special interest. When your customers are having a claim, it's a life event. It's a terrible life event. Something bad is happening. They've had an accident. They've had their house burned down, or, whatever. Something bad is happening in their lives, and they need somebody who cares and who's going to show them that they care and who's going to just be there for them and help them every step of the way.
So I'm going back to the human connection in this one. This is where, you should have a great process for helping people out with claims, because that is their emotional low point. This is when they need that support. You'll remember people, when you have families, inside your family, somebody passes away, and there's a person that goes that extra mile that schedules, the flowers, or that, goes and brings food, or, during COVID time, there are people who went out and got groceries for other people. You remember those things when you're at your lowest and somebody's there to help you out, help you through it. You will be remembered. And that's what we're talking about, a special interest. Look, for you, a claim is a claim is a claim. You're in the insurance business. It's just part of what you do. But for the person going through it, it's crazy. It's bizarre. They can't believe it happened to them. It's not supposed to happen to them, right? It's not them. So if you take a special interest, you're going to be the person who ends up, reaping the benefits. And speaking of reaping the benefits, I want to move on to this last one right here. Take every opportunity to refer other business contacts to your clients and let them know you're doing it. Nice. when I hear this, here's the thing: they're your companies that you're working with, the people that you're working with, the clients that you have may have other businesses that obviously they have businesses that you're insuring, right? If do unto others as you want done to you, you want people sending you referrals. You should be a referral machine. You should be out giving referrals all the time, because it's like the way I explain it is, think about being in your office and it's Christmas time and you come in and somebody walks up to you and they give you a Christmas gift. Now, you didn't expect it. It was really nice of them and you're appreciative, but at the same time, let's face it, you're like, God, I can't believe this person got me a gift, because now I got to go get that. And you lie to them. You're like, oh my God, I left your gift in my car or whatever. You say some BS like that, right? That's not true.
All right, Sheldon.
Right? But you're feeling it. That feeling you feel, that horrible feeling that you feel inside, that's called reciprocation. You are feeling that feeling of reciprocation. You want to be able to give them something because they gave you something. It's that feeling of obligation. So if you're providing your clients with referrals all the time, right, just have a nice Rolodex of your clients, right? And this is what they do. When somebody says, I need tires, I got somebody for you. Let me send you their way. And then call them up and say, hey, I'm sending this particular client, blah, blah, blah. Boom, send them your way. Now, if you're sending them business, guess what? After 1, they're going to be like, oh, thanks. That's awesome. 2, they're going to be like, oh, appreciate that. 3, they're going to be like, oh, crap. Now you're at the tire shop and they're like, man, I got in this accident, blah, blah. You should talk to my insurance guy. He's the best.
Boom.
He's got this. And that's what you want. If you want referrals, give referrals. Stop making it a one-way street. This is a two-way street, and you should always be giving more than you're receiving.
Yep.
Always.
The only thing to add to that is that means you got to listen. You got to understand when your customers are having, when they're going through something. Oh man, I just went through this tax thing and my accountant and this, that, and the other. Oh, you know what? I happen to know an accountant. You got to listen to these things and definitely send those referrals out and you'll get them back tenfold. All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our 10 retention tips. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias at Insurance Bro Show. If you want to be a guest on the show, go to www.insurancebroShow.com/guest. We would love to have you on. And of course, don't forget, whatever platform it is that you're listening to us on, give us a rate, give us a review, give us a like, subscribe, whatever it is, so that we can show up that much higher on all of our search results. We've got nothing else for you all today. Thank you as always for tuning in. Every single one of you listening, you rock my socks. You have my heart. Love you all so much. Now go out there and
Have a nice day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Carrier Experience Podcast. James is the CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you are an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. You can find James on all social media